this is Tyler with TANDEMKROSS, and today this will be our first video in the installation series for the Manticore X Lower for Ruger 1022. The rest of the videos will be playlisted with this one and will likely answer any questions you may have, so be sure to check out the rest of the series here. Today, we'll be going through and showing a general overview of how to mount your Manticore X and the accessories to your 1022. We will have additional videos coming soon on specifics and recommendations. This video will serve as an overview of what to expect for installation once you receive your very own Manticore X. As a friendly reminder, these instructions are also available in written form on our website. Always be sure to check there for the latest information on tips and tricks, or in the case of any revisions to the product or to the base firearm itself. Remember, please check the firearm and work area to remove any ammunition and wear appropriate safety gear. TANDEMKROSS recommends medium strength thread locker for all the fasteners that we'll be utilizing today. So first things first, start by disassembling your rifle until you get to this point here. This will be referencing your firearms manual as well as any manual for your aftermarket stock or chassis that you may already have. That will also include removing these two receiver cross pins for holding the trigger assembly in, as well as the metal bolt stop retaining pin, this one in the top corner. Typically, these will come out on their own. They'll be a fairly loose fit once you've removed the action from your stock. But in some cases, especially if the firearm is new, these three pins can be a little bit snug and they may need to be drifted out with a punch. For this next step, if you already have a TANDEMKROSS shock block bolt buffer, you can leave that in place and you can skip this, but if you don't, we give you one with your Manticore X. That is the black rubber pin right here stowed in the rear. Let's go ahead and pluck that out. To install this pin in your upper, this will go into the bolt stop pin hole in the top corner. Start the pin by hand, and then you can either lay this down like this and just put a little bit of weight on the receiver, or you can push with your hand. It just shows better on camera by hand, so I'll show it like so. Just give the pin a gentle squeeze and it will work its way across the receiver. And once it's up close to the other side of the receiver, I like to just give it a little bit of a push to make sure that it is aligned with the other wall, and then finish pushing that pin into place. And once this pin is more or less flush on both sides, you've now installed your bolt buffer pin, and this will hold itself into place, which is necessary for the Manticore X. At this point, you can take your lower, pull out the two silver receiver cross pins, and you can check the fit of your Manticore X into the upper. So in this case, it's just perfect. It's a nice snug fit. Included on the Manticore X, both left and right side, there are these orange strips of O-ring retaining cord. With a Ruger OEM receiver, there's a fair bit of internal width, so likely you'll want to keep these O-rings installed if you have a Ruger receiver. However, if you have an aftermarket receiver, typically it's a little bit more snug on the inside, so you may need to remove one or both of these O-rings. A great way to take that out is using the provided 1.5mm Allen key, which you'll be touching on later, and you can use that to sort of pluck the little segment of O-ring cord out of the side wall. And then if you ever do want to put it back in, it's just as simple as lining it up and working it back in. I'm using a Ruger receiver here, so I will keep both segments of the O-ring cord installed, and I will push the lower into the upper and then secure that with those two receiver cross pins. Now is a great time to check your trigger pull weight if you would like to make any adjustments. I'll go ahead and remove my flag. with the safety on fire. I'll go ahead and give it a pull. I think that's perfect for me, but I'll show you what to do if you would like to make any changes. For user trigger adjustment, there is the pull weight, which is the hole right here next to the side of the hammer, as well as the over travel screw on the trigger face. To adjust either of them, you can use the 1.5mm Allen key that we provide. And we have on our website written instructions for the corresponding pull weights based on the amount of rotations of the trigger pull weight adjustment screw. Be sure to remount your Manticore X Lower into your receiver before double checking your pull weight. Dry firing the lower without the bolt able to stop the hammer can result in damage. We can remount the upper and lower, and we can put in our compatible pistol grip. For that, we'll be using our AR-15 Hive grip. It will be compatible with other AR grips as well. Regardless, be sure to use the shorter included fastener and star washer that we give you that is pre-mounted in your Manticore X. This installs as a typical AR-15 grip would. And this uses a 3/16 Allen key. If you purchase our Hive grip, one of these will be included. From your package, remove the following 3 items: your Picatinny stump, your QD sling mount, and then the bolt that fastens these 2 into the rear of the receiver. From here, you can decide to mount it in your preferred orientation with the sling mount on the left or the right side, or with the stock in the downward or the inline configuration. And then secure these components with a 3/16 Allen key, such as the one that comes with our AR-15 Hive grip. With your rear assembly installed, you can then mount your preferred rear accessory, such as a stock or a brace. Finally, let's go over mounting the M-LOK compatible forend. This secures into the takedown screw hole with the included button head screw and the larger of the 2 provided Allen keys. For adjustment, that will be accomplished with the 2 set screws that are pre-installed, as well as the included small set screw and the smaller of the 2 provided Allen keys. Let's take the small Allen key, put it into the threaded hole on the bottom of the forend. And for OEM receivers, you'll want to thread this in until more or less 2 threads or so are protruding out the underside of the forend. Line this up and tighten the button head screw in place until it bottoms out, and then turn it back about a 1/4 turn, just so you have a little bit of play like that. Now that we've backed off that screw so there's a little bit of movement, we can check the alignment of the forend, and we can see that too much of the screw is protruding because the end of the forend is clearly diverging from the bore axis. We can back this screw off, and as we do, you'll see that this will straighten out so that the handguard forend component is approximately parallel to the bore axis. Now that we've got that first set screw done, we have a little bit of side to side movement. which will be adjusted out with the 2 set screws running along the inside of the handguard here. Take the 1/8 inch Allen key that we provide, and then you'll be tightening these up against the face of your receiver until the handguard is aligned and quite snug. Now those set screws have been backed up against the face and it's nice and rigid, and we can do a final adjustment. In this case, I'm going to need to take this screw back just a touch. And then snug that down with the larger of the 2 Allen keys. And you've mounted the forend. At this point, you can attach your M-LOK compatible accessories of choice. And congratulations. Thanks so much for watching. This completes the overview installation. Stay tuned for following content where we'll be breaking these down into specific videos.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video on whatever social media platform you use. I'm Luke with TANDEMKROSS, and we're here to make your good guns great. Keep up with us on social media for daily updates. I'll see you next time.